Hi, it's Steve with Coin Stuff I Like, bringing you part four in my Peace Dollar series. I got a little sidetracked between part three and part four and did a couple of Eisenhower dollar videos, which, if you think about it, sort of and one of the reasons I like numismatics is that there's so many things to look at, collect, and talk about. So we're back to the Peace Dollar, part four, and we're going to be covering 1925 and 1926. Now, in the description of this video, I will put links to the first three, one, two, and three. If you haven't watched them, please do, and please comment. I love reading the comments and dialoguing there. So I look forward to reading your comments on those particular videos as well as this one. So let's get on with it and talk about where we're going with this video on 1925 and 1926. So I've shown this slide previously, and the gold are the Moonlight Mint components of my Peace Dollar collection, and the red is the U.S. Mint component of my collection. And this time we're going to be covering 25 and 26. There are no key dates. There was one in 24S, which was the last video, and 1921, which I consider a key date. And then we'll have a bunch next time. But we'll be getting into this one. I want to make one other note. I just added this little gold one because Dan Carr just this year released a 1964 no mint mark, so Philadelphia, with the broken sword reverse. So we'll talk about that eventually. Hopefully I can get it from Mr. Carr and over to Annex into a holder and have all that done before I even get to that point. So there's a couple of more slides I just want to bring back, and just to comment that the 25 and 26 are low relief obverse designs. I went into this in more detail in the earlier videos if you're interested in checking that out. And then the 25 and 26 are also the low relief reverse. Further, last time we talked about how in 1922 they switched from a B1 reverse, which had two mountains, and the olive branch did not touch the talons or was further away from the talons, to a B2 reverse where there's a third mountain. You can see the rays are altered a little bit in that area, and then also the olive branches actually comes in close proximity of the talon, so it's closer than over here. So all the 25 and 26 had a B2 reverse. All right, so low relief obverse, low relief reverse with a B2 on that low relief reverse. Also, in 1926, they touched up, they re-engraved God in the motto. And you can see this 1925, that was an area that didn't strike up as well. And so God sort of got lost in the field a little bit. And so what they did in 1926 for all three mint marks of 1926, you'll see that they re-engrave God so that it actually stands out. They didn't re-engrave in or we or trust. It re-engraved God because of what we're seeing here, like in 1925. So when you look at the coin, it actually pops out at you. It's certainly not going to fade into the field. and it's strange that they isolated their re-engraving to just God instead of the whole motto, but nevertheless, they did, and I wanted to make note of that. That happened in 1926. It's not considered a different design, but a re-engraving or modification of just the word God. So let's get into the collection. I've been using my piece dollar collection to as examples in this video series, and this one here is the MS63. All of my coins are in the low MS range, except for the Dan Carr pieces, which are 69s and 70s. But all the U.S. mint are low MS, except for one, which we'll get to later on in this series, which is an AU58. So all the coins that I have are low MS. I didn't want to go hog wild and try to get the gems, the gem examples. I just wanted reasonable uncirculated examples of each. And as I look back at them, there's some that I may want to replace, but I'm not sure that I'm going to go up in grade. I'll just try to find a better coin in my little grade range of low MS. So this one, the 1925 Philadelphia no mint mark, they minted 10 million, just over 10 million of them. To date, the estimated survival of all, both circulated and uncirculated 1925 piece dollars is 3 million. And of those 3,750,000 are estimated to survive in grades 60 and above, so uncirculated grades. So this one here, the MS63, is one of estimated 750,000. So of significance in 1925, Al Capone became boss in Chicago. Prior to that, he was like an underboss in other, lower level organizational jobs. So when I looked at this, I'm going, why was this? Was it melt or what? Well, this is just purely conjecture, but maybe Geraldo Rivera didn't find Al Capone's vault that had all the peace dollars in it. Certainly, he found a vault with nothing in it, but maybe a lot of these are in Al Capone's vault that Geraldo Rivera didn't find. That's humor, but just gives you some historical context of when these things were circulating. So the other thing about the series is that prior to this series, I had not really looked at my peace dollars to see if there were VAMs. I didn't look at the coin under loops and try to see, do I have any important VAMs? Well, if you saw the last one, I have some, top 100 VAMs that I didn't even know I had, and some of those will go back to annex for reholdering and attribution. So in continuing that process of every time I do one of these videos, I'm looking at my coins and seeing if I have a VAM. Let's look at this one. So this one here has a really nice die crack across the neck, but it has no other markers of VAMs. So I can't really, there's no VAM, neck crack VAM, but it may be a marker of other VAMs, but there's markers that I just couldn't find to identify it and attribute it to a specific 1925 VAM. But nevertheless, it has this marker. There is a VAM that has a die gouge across the tiara up here that has a neck crack that looks very similar to this, but this does not have that die gouge. So that would have been a nice one to have. But nevertheless, that's what I saw on this coin. No other real markers that I could identify uh, for VAM attribution. Next is the 1925 S. Denver did not produce peace dollars in 1925. So there's the Philadelphia source and the San Francisco source. San Francisco, as a general statement, the San Francisco coins generally were produced in lower mintages, and the survival rates are lower, and so there's a number of San Francisco key dates in the peace dollar series. The 25S, they minted just over 1.6 million of these. There's about 230,000 of them that remain in all grades, and about 30,000 that are in the MS, 60 and above grades. That's estimated survival. This one here is very hard to get in 65 or higher. I got a 62, but if you look at the PCGS, NGC, CACG, only NGC has coins that are graded higher than 65 or 65 plus. And there's only a handful, just a couple, right? Most coins are 60 to 65. Very hard to get over 65. And CACG has, if I remember right, of the 65s, they have stickered 9 of them, and they've only graded 1 themselves, the CACG, at 65 and nothing higher. So hard to find. This one, when you look at it for VAM, it's the same thing. I couldn't find enough VAM markers to attribute it as a specific VAM for 25S, but it does have a really nice neck crack that extends into the field here, across the neck, all the way over to here, maybe just a little bit into the field here. So nice crack here at the neck, and then another crack that comes all the way across RTY. Really nice. You'll also notice this right here. That's like a wing tip. That's a clash. This is a clash mark up here. Really nice one. And if you flip it over, there is a crack right here in peace. It's a very fine crack, but it comes from the E across to the A, over through the C, back to the E. So there's a crack there. And then you can also see there was a clash here. This is from the neck. And that's a clash mark, but you can see some diabrasion trying to repair that clash mark. So this one had a clash, it had some cracks, but I couldn't find enough markers to identify it with one of the documented VAMs. Next, 26. So so like I said, there's only Philadelphia and San Francisco in 25. In 26, all 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, produced peace dollars. 26, Philadelphia produced almost nearly 2 million of them. So this is a little bit of a drop off for Philadelphia production. There's an estimated 275,000 of these that exist in all grades, and 75,000 that exist in MS and higher. Mine is a 62, sort of fitting with my 61 to 63 range. And it's a pretty nice example at 62. In 1926, Babe Ruth hit 47 home runs, 153 RBIs. The Yankees went to the World Series. They lost to the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, what happened is that famous story of the parents of a very ill child back in New Jersey contacted Babe Ruth. This is right about the time of the World Series. and said, can we please get a baseball for him to brighten his spirits? And Babe Ruth sent him two baseballs that were signed by Yankees and Cardinals, and a message saying, I'm going to hit a homer for you on Wednesday. And on that Wednesday, he hit 3 home runs. And the kid had a miraculous recovery. So I think that what he may have sent him, in addition to those 2 baseballs, is maybe sent him a brand new 1926 peace dollar. That's purely conjecture, but then it's going on to a story that probably has a lot of embellishment. Anyway, he wouldn't send him a 1926 S or D peace dollar, but it would be a Philadelphia 1926. Anyway, that attempt at humor aside, let's look at what I found on Under Loops. And this one here is a VAM. It's a VAM 3, which is doubled 6 and designer's initials. And you can see that the notching here, and under loops when you wobble it, the furrow runs all the way over this way. And you can even see a little bit of it in here. There's a notch in the designer's initials right here. Here's a little bit closer view. Doubled initials and notch here. What doesn't mention in the online VAM guide is that there's doubling in truss as well. You can see the notching here, furrow line, and there's a little furrow line here and here as well. So this is a cool little VAM. It's not a top 50 or top 100, etc., but it is a cool one to find because it's rediscovering your coins, and it's nice to see. So let's move on and cover 1926D. They minted a bit more than the Philadelphia, and close to 2.4 million, of which 200,000 are estimated to remain in all grades, and 30,000 estimated to survive in MS60. You can find these above 65, as opposed to that prior coin. You can find these a lot easier in greater than 65 if you're looking to collect gems. This is mine is a pretty nice looking MS62 in my opinion. You can see it is a 62. It has a lot of hits and so forth, but it's a pretty nice one. It's pretty bright. It's a nice example. Again, look at the God here, which they modified and re-engraved to really pop out at you. So that's a 65D example. And let's look at the coin under loops. Another VAM. So this is a VAM 3, but this is a 1926D VAM 3. So the VAM number is specific to the date mint mark, okay? So you have 3 in VAM 326, VAM 326D. It's not the same. The numbering system is unique to each date mint mark. This one here has a really nice die crack that does not extend into the field here that I could see, but it comes across the neck and extends into the field through the T and above truss. This one here, VM3, is a doubled 26. And if you look here, we've got sort of a split in here. And we've got another split in here. And I'll get closer images like this one here. So you can see split here, doubled initials. You can see a little bit of a furrow here on the two. It's hard to image. You see it better in the loops when you're wobbling the light. But I got a little bit of it here. And you can see that the 6 has a split here. And if you get the light right, you can see it down here as well. This one also has some doubling in truss, and you can see a furrow line here and here and here on the R, and even here in the V. So the other one had a little bit more north doubling. This one here is a little bit more west doubling than the VM3 from 26. So again, west doubling. All right. So really nice, two doubled 26 in truss coins and two VAMs. Let's move on to the 26S. Well, this was the big mintage for 26. They produced nearly 7 million at San Francisco Mint, of which 450,000 are estimated to survive in all grades, and 60,000 in MS60 or higher. As I mentioned earlier, the San Francisco Mint has typically lower mintages and lower survival rates, so there's a lot of key dates among the San Francisco mintage. This is not one of them. That's a fairly high survival rate and mintage for San Francisco minted piece dollars. This one here is a 62. It is a 62. It looks like a 62, but it's a nice one. It's nice and bright. And even here, I can see there's a clash mark right here. But let's take a closer look under magnification. And we have another VAM. This is a VAM 7, which is also a double 26. And you can see doubling here, the furrow line. Again, look, it's better under loops, but that's the best image I can get of that. The split here in the 6, a split here in the designer's initials. There's a little bit closer look here, there, and you can't see it as well here as you see in this image. But doubling of 2-6 and the designer's initials. And this one here doesn't mention any doubling in trust, but there's some hint of doubling there in trust. But this one also has a few other markers that are not mentioned under VM7, but it's a VM7. It has a die crack over TAT in states on the reverse. And as I alluded to in the larger coin images, it has a double clash, maybe even a triple clash. If you look here, it looks almost like a triple, two closely separated and one wider separated, a little bit more offset of that clash. So it looks like a triple clash here, and it's not repaired yet, so pretty nice to see. So there you have it. That's the 25 and 26 coin piece dollars by the U.S. Mint. Next time we'll cover 27 and 28 and get into a few of the key dates. And it brings us to the end of the Pittman Act in 1928. So hopefully I'll get that out to you, and hopefully we'll have you back and see that coin. But until then, thank you for watching. Remember, try to watch those other part 1, 2, and 3 if you haven't, and comment, and please subscribe if you haven't. We'll catch you next time, and remember, buy stuff you like, but be smart about what you buy. Bye-bye.